Hello, my lovelies. Welcome to another Slow Reader Diaries. If this is your first video of mine, hi, I'm Victoria. I am a notorious slow reader, hence the Slow Reader Diaries. So, this is just a series of cozy, slow paced reading vlogs where I just document my reading journey. So, if that's something you would be interested in and you enjoy, then maybe click that subscribe button so you can join this little slow, cozy, snail paced family. I love how I said in the last video I wouldn't do that, and I've done it again. Okay. In today's reading vlog, we are going to let, she says, I really should have got this out. Oh my god, hang on. We are going to let the infamous TBR jar pick what we are going to be reading for this reading vlog. Now, if you watched my most recent video, you would have seen that I did a bit of reorganizing and rejigging of my TBR cart. So she is fresh, she is ready to be picked from. If you didn't watch it though, quick rundown. The top shelf is kind of like top priority, second shelf, second priority, bottom shelf, but you get the gist basically. I don't usually do set monthly TBRs because I am such a mood reader, and because I'm not a fast reader, I very rarely get through more than 4 books in 1 month. 4 books in a month is actually very good for me. We're just going to pick a prompt from the jar and see what book we'll be reading in this vlog. I am currently reading a book, and that is Hera by Jennifer Saint. I've been reading this for a little while now. I've only just gotten back into it, so I actually think I'll be finishing this pretty soon because I'm enjoying it more than I remembered enjoying it before. So anyways, I wanted to pick another book in preparation for once I finish Hera / while I finish Hera. I am definitely in my cozy fantasy era. That is definitely the genre I've been gravitating towards recently. So, some of the books that I would really love to get to would be Watermoon, Bookshops and Bone Dust, Green Teeth, Old Flames and New Fortunes. That's not a cozy fantasy per se, it's like cozy magic realism romance. I think Second Chance as well, I believe. Paladin's Grace as well. I would love to get to that. There are a couple of continuations of series on there that I do know that I need to get to at some point as well, but I'm tempted to leave those for a dedicated continuing series vlog. But anyway, those are the ones that I would ideally like to pick up for today's vlog, but we shall just see what the TBR jar has in store for us. So let's just get straight to it, shall we? I really want to repaint this because she's a bit busted. She's an old candle jar. So I kind of want to paint it, or maybe I'll put some stickers on the outside. So we've got our jar full of prompts. We'll go with this one. Okay, is that way? Is it that way? What does that say? Oh my gosh. With music / art as a theme. Music / art as a theme. Well, okay, this isn't on. Although, oh, we could. Okay. I don't know if this is kind of cheating though. We could do possibly Two Can Play by Ali Hazelwood, because this is about 2 video game creators, and you could argue that creating video games is a form of art. I certainly think it's a form of art. Doesn't. Okay, hang on, let me look at Paladin's Grace quickly. That's not music and art though. Yeah, I think we'll put that back in at some point, but I think we're gonna choose a different prompt because that one's a little bit tricky. Okay, I'll go with this one. Published this year. Oh, I don't think I have any. Oh, again, technically I could do Two Can Play, because even though this was originally an audiobook, I think the physical copy was published this year. Yeah, so it was originally published in 2024, but this physical release was published this year in 2026. And this is the second time I thought I could use this book. Maybe this is just going to be a two can play Ali Hazelwood reading blog. But the thing is, it's so short. It's this little novella. Maybe I could choose a second prompt for a second book because I really think I will whiz through this in one sitting. I don't, because a lot of new releases, they're releasing hardback first, and we're still in like the first half of the year. So paperback for new releases won't be really coming out until the second half of the year. So I don't really get new releases that often. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to have Two Can Play by Ali Hazelwood as our prompt for published this year. But because of how small it is, we're going to pick another prompt and choose another book. Okay, go for this one. She can open it. A one-hit wonder. I've had this before and I don't actually know what I mean by it. So because of that, I actually think I'm gonna bin that and choose another prompt. Look, this is my this is my blog, okay? With a colour in the name. Yes! Oh my gosh, yes. Green Teeth by Molly O'Neill. Okay, this is perfect. Colour in the name, green. This has been on my spring TBR for literally like a year, and I've really wanted to get to this book. I'm so excited about it. It is based off Jenny Greenteeth, which is a British mythological being story. I am so excited, and this is also a debut novel as well. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Okay, it says, beneath the still surface of a lake lurks a monster with needle-sharp teeth, hungry and ready to pounce. Her name is Jenny Greenteeth, and she's never spoken to a human before. But when a witch is thrown into her lake by an angry mob, something makes Jenny decide she's worth saving. The witch doesn't know why the village has turned against her, but it has something to do with the malevolent new pastor. Though they have nothing in common, these two unlikely companions must band together on a magical quest to defeat an evil that threatens the very soul of Britain. Okay, this is absolutely perfect. A better prompt could have not been picked. Okay, in today's reading vlog, we will be reading these two books. We have got Two Can Play by Ali Hazelwood, which was our prompt for published this year. And then our prompt for a title with the colour in the name, we're going with Green Teeth by Molly O'Neill. Oh my gosh, okay. I'm so excited for these. Let's just get cracking. I am so excited. Hello, my lovelies. So, update time. I have read the first Two Can Play by Ali Hazelwood, done and done. Read it in less than 24 hours. 5 stars. I honestly just love this woman's work. Very similar to how I love Laurie Gilmore and her books and the Dream Harbour series. This was such a quick and easy read. It's a little novella. It is exactly what you expect from an Ali Hazelwood. Because obviously it's a novella and it's shorter, it does feel quite fast paced. However, because she's given the characters a history pre this book, it also doesn't feel fast paced. Do you know what I mean? Like, yes, this takes place over the span of 5 days, and that in itself can feel quite fast paced, but the characters have a history already. They've known each other for years. So it's not like they've just met and then it's kind of all kicking off. Even though maybe it can feel fast paced, because of that, to me, it didn't feel fast paced, which was great. It's just a lovely palate cleanser of a book. And even though it is set in like the snowy Alps in like a snowy cabin. Well, I say it wasn't giving wintry vibes. They do have snowball fights and make snow forts. So I guess this would be a good winter novella, but I don't think you need to restrict yourself to the winter season to enjoy it. I certainly didn't, and I still loved it. Sorry, lovelies, about the sudden cut to that clip. I can't quite remember what I was saying about Two Can Play. But to be fair, I don't think I have much more to add apart from the fact that if you're looking for a classic Ali Hazelwood and you just need a little bit of a pick me up, then I'd highly recommend this little novella. It was a lot of fun. Our two main characters are your classic Ali Hazel. It is 7 a.m. and I woke up about 20 minutes ago, so please bear with me. Your classic Ali Hazelwood characters. Because I love gaming, I would have loved a full-length novel on this, a romance between two gaming developers. I love that, so cute. So like my only complaint is that I wish this was an actual full-length novel apart from a novella, but I will take the crumbs that I am given at this point. I remember enjoying the audiobook, but I do tend to enjoy the physical books more compared to audiobooks. I'm just not the biggest audiobook fan, specifically reading books for the first time. Anyways, I then have another reading update. To be fair, since filming that little clip, I then started Green Teeth by Molly O'Neill. I'm literally only 40 pages in, but I feel like I do already have some opinions that I wanted to share with you. So this is probably one of the most anticipated books on my physical TBR. I have been so excited to read this even since before I bought it and I just heard about it. The fact that it's a book based on British mythology just excites me so much. So I'm pretty sure I have already explained what this is about. Basically, within the first 40 pages, we are already introduced to our two main characters. The first one being Jenny Greenteeth, and our second one being Temperance, who is the witch that is thrown into the lake that Jenny lives in. And we have already established a relationship between these two characters as well. Now, something that I wasn't expecting, and I don't know why, but I just assumed this book was going to be written in third person. I just assumed we'd be kind of, as the reader, watching this story unfold from afar, but that's not the case. It is written in first person and it's written from Jenny's point of view. Now, the opening of this book, I was kind of surprised at, but in a good way. The very first page of the book, you have this little, I don't know what this is called, but this little just paragraph of text. Usually in books, this is like a review of the book or praise for the author, something like that. But because this is a debut, we don't have that. Instead, we've got this little paragraph. And when I read it, I was like, okay, I'm intrigued. It says, I'm sure your own mother or grandmother told you about Jenny Greenteeth's. We make a good story for a winter's night when the wind is howling down the chimney and the fire is casting long shadows on the wall. That's the best kind of night for stories. I bet you liked to curl up with a blanket and listen to tales about the boogeyman, the pixies, and the hobgoblins. Jennies belong in fairy stories, and like the other fey creatures, we're more real than your mothers would like to believe. And I read that and I was like, okay, I'm intrigued. And then when I started reading the book, I didn't realize at the time, but that's actually a passage from the book. And how this is written is as if Jenny is recounting the story to you. And I really like that. I was not expecting it to be written like that, but it does definitely feel like we're kind of bundled up by a fire and Jenny is recounting this story to us, and there is this eeriness about it, and it really is quite atmospheric in that sense. And I already feel very close to Jenny in the sense that we are really in her head and she is really kind of sharing her thoughts and feelings with us. I feel very close to her, where I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that from this book. Like I said, I thought this was going to be third person and we'd kind of be watching from afar, but I feel like I'm in this with her. Another thing, like I said, I'm only 40 pages in. This book made me laugh so much. There was like a scene where where Jenny's like coughing up water so she can speak to Temperance. And it was so comedically written. The way she did it made me laugh so much. And Jenny's character, I was not expecting to have the personality that she has, because Jenny Greenteeth is kind of like, that dark fairy folklorish villain in a sense. I wasn't expecting her to have like a personality, but she really does. And again, that was a really another pleasant surprise. So even though I'm only 40 pages in, I'm enjoying it, and I do have high hopes. I don't want to have too high of hopes, because I have heard that people kind of lose their way a little bit around the midpoint. They feel like it kind of drags on, gets a bit boring. So I'm kind of trying to prepare myself for that. Hopefully that won't happen for me. If it kind of keeps going at this pace, I think I'm in for a good ride. So, like I did just mention, it is 7 a.m. Ben has just left for work. I am not needed until 11. So, I'm going to spend the morning reading a bit more of Greenteeth. I do have some admin work that I need to do for my internship, so I'll get that done as well. I'll probably start that about 9. But I think just for the next couple of hours as I'm waking up, I'm going to read some more Greenteeth and just enjoy the gorgeous weather, because, oh, I've got a puss cat staring at me. Okay, she's not staring at me anymore. She's currently sat on my windowsill. The sky is gorgeous, and I'm very excited because today I'm going seal watching with the charity that I'm doing my internship with. Is kind of like our day outing that everybody can enjoy, and the one this month is seal watching. I really hope I get to see some seals. I think, my gosh, I would cry. I'll cry. The ocean. I'm so excited. But anyways, that's just like my reading update with Two Can Play and Greenteeth. I will be back when I guess I have another one. I finished this book about 10 minutes ago, and I couldn't wait any longer to talk about it. I need to talk about this book. Firstly, 4.5 stars. This book totally exceeded my expectations. I was genuinely a little bit nervous going into this book because I wanted it to be good. I needed this book to be good, because this is kind of the first British mythology folklore retelling book that I've picked up, and I really didn't want it to let me down. And I didn't hear bad reviews, but I just heard kind of mid reviews. Like, people enjoyed it. They said it kind of got a bit slow paced near the middle and end, but overall, like, they enjoyed it. It just wasn't like, extraordinary. And I was like, okay, I can take that. I can take, an average rating. It could fall either way, which I guess is even scarier, but I'm so happy that I enjoyed this book as much as I did. Where do I even begin? The fact that this is a debut, stunning. Molly O'Neill really knew what she was doing. Yeah, she knew her target audience, and she came for us with everything she has. When I saw that this is marketed as a cozy fantasy, again, on one hand, I was excited, but I also wasn't getting cozy fantasy from it. I don't even know why, because the cover is beautiful and, arguably does give cozy fantasy vibes. However, I don't know why I just wasn't getting, maybe from what the description on the back was, that just wasn't giving me cozy fantasy vibes. But I'm so happy that I was wrong. This definitely hits so many of the cozy fantasy tropes in such a fabulous way. We have like unlikely friendships, strong women friendships, trio of, again, unlikely friends banding together on a quest to defeat a seemingly undefeatable evil with an animal sidekick. Yes, please. And the thing that I love about cozy fantasies is that they do have high stakes, but they are tackled at with such a gentleness that you know everything's going to be okay. You know going into a cozy fantasy that everything and everyone is going to be okay, despite when things seem to be going wrong and things don't seem to be going to plan. You know you're in safe hands with a cozy fantasy. So when things started to get a little bit turmoil-esque in this book, and I can't lie to you, at the end, Molly O'Neill got me. She got me a good, and I really, really thought that this was going to take a turn that I really didn't want it to take. I really did not want it to take that turn. But my faith in the cozy fantasy genre held strong, and I was not disappointed with how this book ended. I love the dynamic between our cast of characters. We follow Jenny Greenteeth in her perspective, as I mentioned before, and I love her relationship dynamics with the two other characters, with Temperance and oh gosh, hang on, I've forgotten his name. Brackus, there we go. Jenny, at the start of the book, she's very solitary. She's been living in her lake on her own for like thousands of years. And then all of a sudden, she's kind of thrusted into this quest with these two unlikely companions. There's kind of moments when it kind of pokes fun of that trope in the book, where other characters kind of going, well, you wouldn't expect. I think there's a quote where it's like, a goblin, a hag, and a witch. Like, this is a very unlikely trio. So it very much pokes fun at itself in a sense in that way. But the growth of the friendship between these three, they're brought together by this common evil, and they start off the quest. And I'm going to keep saying quest. They start off the quest together, kind of like they're the only ones that can really defeat this evil. So even though they probably wouldn't have picked each other to do this with, they kind of don't really have a choice. But then as their journey continues and unfolds, and their bonds just grow stronger, and we meet some really interesting side characters along the way. I really enjoyed the other characters that we meet. I thought they were such a lovely addition to the story, and they added to the mythology and folklore of the book. That's one thing I loved that Molly O'Neill did. You can tell she loves British mythology, and it says that in the about the author bit in the book. She loves it. That really comes through in her writing. Her twist on it was so fun to read as well, and how she's woven different mythological creatures and different folklore tales into this story to tell the overarching story of Jenny Greenteeth. Again, was so much fun, but then there were like little twists and turns that I just wasn't expecting, but they just added to the enrichment of the folklore-ness of it. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. I really enjoyed Molly O'Neill's writing. There were moments, sorry, there's a fly and it's bothering me. So if I'm like looking around, that's why. Her writing, I loved it. Again, from a cozy fantasy, for me personally, you don't want the writing to be complicated. You don't want it to be intense and in depth. That's not what I'm here for. That's not what she gave me. She gave me the cozy vibes that I wanted. I thought the banter between the characters was so good. Like, I was genuinely laughing out loud at moments in this book. Throughout this, I honestly could envision this as a Studio Ghibli-esque like movie. Like, that's how I was kind of picturing it in my head. Cozy fantasy and Studio Ghibli go hand in hand because they both tackle very serious topics, but with that whimsicalness. I just I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil anything, but there's so much more to this than just a retelling of Jenny Greenteeth. Like, that is the core of it, but the other ways that Molly O'Neill has woven in other myths and legends was so good. And I will be picking up her newest release. I believe it is following a goddess who has been like cursed to be like to lead like the hunt. And I think it's a romance between this goddess and the daughter of Boudica. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's something like that, and I will be picking it up. I've seen it in many of my local Waterstones, so it will be coming home with me the next time I go into a Waterstones. Yeah. I see this book being a reread for me in the future. This was just, oh, I loved it. I had such a fun time with it. It's left me a little bit speechless. I feel like this is going to be one of those books that does sit with me for a little while. And you're probably thinking, like, why is it not a 5 star then? Why is this book not a 5 star to me? Sometimes I feel like I am a bit harsh with my 5 stars because I feel like the books that I give 5 stars to, most people probably wouldn't give a 5 star to. But to me, like a 5 star book just needs to this fly. Would you? A 5 star book needs to leave me. I don't know. Like maybe I'll boost this to a 4.75 because this has kind of like struck something in me. And while I was reading this book, I was listening to kind of gentle Celtic music, and oh, that was such the perfect soundtrack background music to listen to. And the way that it also incorporated the whole of Great Britain, as in we were transported not just to England, but to Wales and Scotland in this book. And I feel like I'm going on tangents now. I feel like I'm not really being coherent in what I'm trying to say. But if you are a fan of folklore, mythology, retellings, and this isn't on your radar, this was such a beautiful mythology retelling love letter to Britain. Like, so with that being said, my loves, that's the end of this slow reader diaries. I really hope you enjoyed. Let me know down below if you've read either of these books, and if you have, what did you think of them? This was such a successful reading vlog. Are you kidding me? Reading to like a renowned favorite author of mine, and now possibly a new favorite author. Honestly, I'm so excited to now pick up another book. I actually don't know what I want to read next, but I'm excited to find out. If you've gotten this far, thank you so much. Comment down below the lotus emoji because I have kind of lotus flowers on this cover, on the lily pads. So if you've made it this far, thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. And I really hope to see you in the next video. Bye.